Time is regarded as the most valuable resource we have as humans. And as students, we know this. We try to utilize our time as much as possible. We use our phones while we walk, we listen to music while we exercise, we even catch up on TV while we're eating. The problem with this is it utilizes time. It doesn't gain us time back at the end of the day. And that may seem like an impossible feat to gain more time, but the solution may be right underneath your fingertips. Shortcuts are the use of one or more keyboard keys to do a specific action in a specific program. These are usually used by video editors, animators, 3D modelers. It allows them to work as fast as they think. That allows them to save time at the end of the day. As a student, you probably don't need to do that with video editing software or modeling software. But if you're a student like me, you probably use Google Docs. Google Docs is where I take all of my notes, and when I first came to college, my notes would look like this. A long list of just unorganized and messy information. I knew that if I was going to survive college, I would have to create a system that would allow me to create basically a study guide while I typed. It's possible to do that. With Google Chrome's built-in shortcuts, you can get a page that looks like this. Practically a finished study guide. And it allows me to go back and see what the teacher was talking about on that specific lecture. So, how is this possible? Well, let's break it down. Let's say that the teacher gives you a slide that looks like this. It has a lot of information on it, but the teacher has already organized it for us. We just have to be quick enough to be able to organize it on our note sheet. So, the best way to start off is by taking the title and making it the title on our sheet. So what we do is we hit Control-Shift-E to center it, Control-B to bold it. We type in the name of the slide exactly how the teacher has it. We hit Enter, Backspace, Control-B to return to our normal notes format. This is a great way to start off if you're not comfortable going into more advanced things, and it will save you tons of time trying to figure out what sections you have in your notes. Let's move on to the content of the slide. As you can see, our teacher has actually numbered some of the information here, so we should do the same. And the easy way to do that is hit Control-Shift-7. This starts a numbered list, and we can do the number points right away. And now for the information underneath those. We press the arrow key up to go back up one, hit Enter, and then hit Tab. This creates the subgroup that our teacher also has. We copy that information down all the same. Another great way to keep information sorted is if your teacher doesn't number them on your slides and you want to keep it organized, just hit Control-Shift-8. This brings up bullet points. Bullet points are how I prefer to keep things organized. I just like to have a hierarchy of information when I make things. So if it doesn't seem like a main point or it's connected to something, I usually hit Enter, Control-Shift-8, and just make a note there. And now while this slide seems like it has a lot more information, it really doesn't. I mean, take a closer look at what we have here. We have a note about the next class, and we have another note about the next class, and then this giant list here looks like it's just a summary list for the rest of the presentation. Now, we can still write this down, and that's perfectly fine to just get extra information, but we should really listen to what the teacher has to say at this point and write down those notes as well. You might be thinking that, great, I don't use Google Docs. This doesn't pertain to me at all. Or the way I take notes is fine for me and I don't care at all. Well, that's the thing about shortcuts. This is an extremely personal way that I take notes. Not everybody's method's gonna be the same as mine. But you should still learn shortcuts, but just the ones you need to learn. A good general rule of thumb is if you use one tool about 3 times every hour, you should learn how to use that tool as fast as possible. This saves you time from going through menus or moving your mouse. If you know how to do these shortcuts can really add up. You could save about like 15 minutes a day. That adds up to about an hour and 45 minutes a week. That time adds up. It's not trying to catch up on TV while eating time. That's actual time. This is possible because we learn about the tool that is right beneath our fingertips.